One of the best-selling manga in Japan right now was made by an AI. That's a problem. Let's talk about it. This is actually an article that was published back in early January of this year, and while the numbers have been dipping slightly now, it's still something that needs to be discussed for the future of manga. Right off the bat, look at this freaking cover. You can immediately tell this is AI. Now, before we go any further into this, I want to make it really clear that this title is, I don't want to go as far as to say it's misleading. I'm just saying that there's a little bit more context that's not being added in this circumstance. And yeah, I'm going to discuss it as we read this article. So yeah, here we go. Just in case you guys thought that AI was becoming a problem only in Western American media and TikTok and all that nonsense, no, it's slowly seeping into all media ecosystems. Shoutouts to Kotaku for keeping an eye on this. We are less than a week into 2026 and it's already shaping up to be a horrible year. Here's more evidence of that. An AI-generated manga is topping the charts over in Japan. As reported by Automaton on January 6th, a new 4-volume manga, gee, I wonder how long it took to make it, My Dear Wife, Will You Be My Lover, auto-translated title, very redundant title, but that's manga for you, is currently the top seller in Comic CMOA's young adult category. The storefront is described as the largest ebook shop in the country. The new manga was created by Mamaya and published by Studio Zune and tells the tale of a middle-aged husband and his wife who are struggling to rekindle... Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, okay. To rekindle their spicy desires for each other, which actually does kind of sound like an interesting premise for a manga or anime, considering how most anime is just cringy fan service slop. This is actually something that's kind of grounded, but it would probably be something I would actually be interested in if it wasn't designed by a frickin' slop machine. As of January 6th, Dear Wife Will You Be My Lover is the best-selling YA manga on this site and ranks number 9 overall according to Comic CMOA's charts. In this manga's official store description, it states, this work was created using AI-generated images. So it's not a secret that this is a manga that relies on AI-generated artwork, yet that has not stopped the romantic comic from topping the charts. Automaton reports that many user reviews call the manga boring, with overly wordy dialogue, bad artwork, and copy-pasted characters. Then why is it at the top of the charts then? The only standout... we're gonna get into that. The only standout moments involve the characters having... their intimacy moments, but some complain that this happens too rarely in the series, which, why are you complaining about that? This might explain, what kind of comic is this supposed to be? Is it just straight up smut? Anyway, this might explain the low rating of 3.1 stars. If it has such a low rating, then how the heck did it end up becoming one of the best-selling manga in Japan, quote-unquote? The manga books below it on the young adult chart rank at 3.8, 4.0, and 4.3 stars. Some fans are reportedly not happy about an AI-generated manga even being allowed on the Comic CMOA storefront, with some suggesting that they might boycott it as a result. I've heard nothing about this, and so that probably didn't happen. But it seems like plenty of people are more than willing to buy and read a manga created by AI prompts, which does seem concerning for actual artists and writers. As translated by Automaton, Kazuaki Ishibashi, a manga author and editor who has worked on notable titles like Mob Psycho 100 and The World Only God Knows, posted on Twitter that readers don't seem too upset about the successful AI-generated book, which has him worried. I expect AI-created work will explode in popularity this year. And that wraps up that article. Now, there's a lot of questions to be had here. If the rating is so freaking low, then how did it end up becoming the best-selling thing? And here's the part where I was talking about where I don't think that all, context was entirely provided with this article. And I'm not trying to blame the creator of this article, Zach Swisen, because this is like... The dude who wrote this article is directly going to a Japanese website. Translations are not going to be fully understood. I'm pretty sure that you know what, actually, this comment right here actually explains it best. I am so glad, because I was about to say this. Comic CMOA, I don't know if you're supposed to say that word like Kamoa, but I don't know, who cares, it doesn't matter to me, is a paid subscription service where members can read an unlimited number of less popular comics for no extra cost. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's running on like webtoon logic almost, or webcomic app logic is what I'm trying to say. This is one of those freebies. These sales aren't numbers like the sales numbers for most larger publishers, so this is not actually a thing here. This comment I found right here is pretty good. Considering the amount of man-made anime slop that gets popular there, this isn't surprising. And you know what? Now that I think about it, This guy is absolutely right about that. Think about all of the generic slop isekai garbage that you see in anime and manga nowadays. If the young adult portion of Japan is happily consuming all of that generic isekai slop, I don't think they're beneath looking at generic AI slop either. I'm just hoping that they eventually come to their senses. So, is this a sign of things to come, or is this just a little fluke? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But until then, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, boys. We'll see you next time.